Before I take you through how to fill the Sanlam Money Market Fund joint application form, these are 5 things that you need to note. Number 1, how to use the joint account. The Sanlam Money Market Fund joint account can be used as an education fund for your kids, which is a better alternative than using the education insurance policies, and I have an article about the same. It can also be used for chamas that aren't registered. So if your chama is registered, you'd need to fill the corporate money market fund account, not the joint account. And in the next video, I'll show you how to fill the corporate account. Number 3, you can also use it as a family emergency fund. So you and your partner can open a Sanlam Money Market Fund joint account to use as your family emergency fund. And you can also use the Sanlam Money Market Fund joint account as a non-monthly to save and invest non-monthly expenses such as insurance, car insurance, medical insurance, and the likes. Number 2, if you're more than 3 members, you need to nominate 3 members. You can always add the rest in the beneficiaries list, and I'll show you how I show you how to fill the application form. You don't need a joint bank account to open a joint money market fund account. You can nominate a member's individual account. You can nominate one member's individual account to use as your bank account. But of course, you need to come up with withdrawal rules. To withdraw funds, you can use either the Sanlam Unit Trust app, which is available on Android devices only, or email your withdrawal request to customer service at clientservice@sanlameastafrica.com. You can also call them. You have to invest a minimum of 2,500 for your account to be set up. Number 1, on page 1, you'll be asked to select a product. You should select PESA Plus. PESA Plus is the name of Sanlam's Money Market Fund account. Then you should tick New Client. But if you're already an existing investor or an existing investor with Sanlam, you can go ahead and put in your account number. And then you should also put in the date which you're applying for this joint application account. Then we go to the joint investor details. Under the joint investor details, this is where now you should nominate 3 members of your chama. For example, if it's a chama account or you're a group of more than 3 members, you nominate 3 people. And so those 3 people should fill out all their details, their names, their ID number, countries of residence, nationality, date of birth, everything, their postal address. Also, it's important to note that you should write your occupation. So if you write that you're employed, then you should definitely go ahead and indicate if you indicate that you are employed, then you should definitely go ahead and write your employer's name and your employer's physical address, and then you can write your employer's telephone number. But if here you write that you're self-employed, then you can write the name of your business, or the name of your business, and that should happen for all the 3 applicants of the 3 nominees. Then down here, you'll be asked to authorize. You're asked to decide who is going to sign, for example, when you're withdrawing funds from that account. So it can be all to sign, the 3 of you to sign. It can be either of the 3 of you to sign, or it can be any 2 to sign. So you should decide which one works for your chama or your group. The third part is the source of funds. So these funds that you're going to invest in the joint application or in the joint account, where are you getting these funds from? Is it from your salaries? Is it from rental or property sale? Is it from sale of shares? If it's just one, just tick 1. If you have more than 2 sources of funds, tick 2 of them or 3 of them, as many as you have. But if where you're getting your funds from is not specified, just come here and specify where you're getting your money from. Then we have the customer bank details. So this is where I was talking about either a joint bank account. So if you have a joint bank account for your chama or for your group or for you as a couple, you can come here and write the account name of the joint account. If you do not have a joint account, like I said, it's not mandatory that you have a joint account. You can nominate one account. So one of the members can decide you use your account. But I said, of course, you have to have rules of withdrawal so that person doesn't withdraw your money and run away with it. And then of course you have to sign. All of you have to input your signatures, the 3 signatories. You have to put your signatures. So I am using Adobe to make this presentation. So one of the ways that you can upload your signatures is take a photo of your signature using your phone and then upload. So I'm using my computer for this, but you can take a photo of your signature. Each of you can take the photos of your signature using a phone, and then put it on your computer and then upload, like what I'm showing you now. Upload a photo of your signature. You see, for example, this is a photo of my signature. I have selected it and then I put it there, and then you do the same for the 3 of you. Or alternatively, you can also add your signature from Adobe or whichever application that you're using. So for example, if I click here, sign yourself here, you can see that I have 2 signatures, my normal signature and my initials. So either of the 2 methods can be used to upload your signatures. Then after that, we have the investment details. So here is where you indicate, as you can see, it's written minimum investment amount is 2,500 for each of the Sanlam unit trust funds. So you have to invest a minimum of 2,500. So here is where you indicate what is that initial investment that you want to make. If you have 30,000, if you have 100,000, it doesn't matter. Just indicate how much money you have to invest initially. Then you express that amount here in words. And then it's important to note that unit holders can be granted 1 free withdrawal a month to the designated bank account. Any additional withdrawals will be subjected to a frequency of 500 shillings per month. So you have 1 free withdrawal per month, and any subsequent withdrawal you'll be charged 500 bob. So then here you're asked to indicate how are you going to transfer the money to Sanlam when you're doing your investment. So is it check, deposit, is it direct cash? Choose what works for you. For most people, it's usually direct transfer and MPESA, and you can always tick both. There is no problem. And then here Sanlam provides its bank account details, because you'll be sending the money that you're investing to Sanlam. So here are your Sanlam's bank details. You can always also deposit this amount of money using M-Pesa. Here is a pay bill number 888, and the account number, you'll use one of your members' ID numbers to make the deposit. Then we go to statement and other correspondence. So if at the end of the month or on 5th of every month, Sanlam will always send you a statement to show you the withdrawals, the deposits, and everything pertaining to your bank account. So you can choose the free option to receive bank statements via email for free. But if you want to receive the same through post office, you can always tick here and you will, but it's important to note that you'll be charged 50 shillings. Then we have the general details, where you're asked, how have you previously invested in the Sanlam unit trust? If there's anyone in your group who has, then you can tick yes. Are you an employee of Sanlam Investment East Africa? You can say no. If yes, it's yes. How did you hear about Sanlam Unit Trust? You can always say the internet, and it will be awesome if you give me a shout out by writing my name, Agatha Wanjiro. And then there's the part about your tax status. Where you ask, are you registered for tax in Kenya? Yes, of course. Here it has to be yes, because one of the requirements, all of you, the three nominees to open this account must have be registered for tax in Kenya. So that's why I said, of course, you have to say, are you registered for tax? Yes. Are you registered for tax in another country? It's for you to indicate which one is right, and then you can come here and say country of tax residence. You can indicate Kenya, and then write your KRA PIN number for the 3 of you, and then residential address. So for the three people, you have to write your residential address. So the land registration part is not necessary. If you want to indicate, it's okay. If you do not have land, or if you do not want to indicate your land registration number, you can always write not applicable. But for house number and estate, road and city town, those ones are mandatory. You have to indicate those ones for all of you. And then, as you can see here, it's written, we write to confirm that the above is a description of our current residential address. This description is provided as we do not have any utility bill that may be used to verify our account residential address. So if you don't want to write your address, you can provide a utility bill such as an electricity bill, internet bill, and all those to verify your residential address. But it's just easier to write your residential address on this application form. And then now here are the beneficiaries. So for the beneficiaries part, basically what Sanlam wants to know is if anything happened to you, if anything happened to the three of you, where are they supposed to take this money? Where are they supposed to take the money that you'll have invested in the Sanlam Money Market Fund account? That's why you need to fill the beneficiaries. So as I'd said in the beginning, if you're more than three, you can always indicate the three people as signatories on this page, and then the rest of the people in the group, you can always write them here as beneficiaries. But if you're only two of you, or you're only three of you in a group, or you're a couple, or you're a couple, then your beneficiaries can be your children. But basically you have to answer the question, where is Sanlam supposed to take this money if anything happened to you? The most important part, you have to fill all the details: name, date of birth, postal address, everything, all the applicable details. But the most important part here is that this percentage here always has to add up to 100. So for example, if this first person, you give them 50% of the share, and this other person, you give them 30%, that only adds up to 80%. So Sanlam will always want to know, where do we take the other 20%? So make sure this percentage share adds up to 100%. If in case one of the beneficiaries or two of the beneficiaries here is a minor, then you have to indicate the full name of the guardian. If the person is below the age of 18 years, you always have to indicate the name of the guardian who will be in charge of that money. And then we have a risk assessment form. These are very easy and simple questions that you should answer as a group. So it's a risk assessment form. It allows Sanlam to understand your risk profile so that they advise on the best investment option for you. So for example, what is your age bracket? Very easy questions. What type of savings or investments do you currently hold? If you have land or a house, if you have other unit trust, if you have bonds, all those things. It's a very easy as I said, it's a very easy risk assessment form to fill. There's 11 questions. Just make sure you tick at least one of the options. If it applies that you tick two, for example, here where it's written, if you have other investment opportunities, if you have a fixed deposit and shares, if two applies to you, tick two. If it's just one, just tick one. Then after that, and so you're told here, kindly add all your scores and divide the total by 11. By doing that, they will be able to know which of their three products is suitable for you. So for example, as you can see, the Sanlam Money Market Fund called PESA Plus is a low risk investment, which is why I advocate for you to invest in it. As you can see, it's written, fund objectives are above inflation level of current income. It's very low risk and ideal for preserving capital and liquidity while earning a competitive return relative to comparative products. Then you have to read here and say, we understand our risk level as a group and have chosen to invest in the following funds. So here is where you indicate the initial amount of money that you have decided you're going to invest. You can always top up more money later. And then you have to read the declarations and signatures. This is the terms and conditions of this account. Make sure you read this page. It's just one page. And in case you have a question about any of the things written here, you can always leave the question in the comment. Your questions in the comment section of this video. And then as again, we understand, you have to read that, we have to say that we the undersigned confirm that you have read and understood this declaration and its implications. So all of you, you have to indicate your names, all of you, and then you have to sign. Again, the same method that I showed you. If you have a photo of your signature, upload it here. If you are using Adobe like I'm using and you've saved your signature in there, just sign. The other hack that I can share is that you can nominate one person to fill this you can nominate one person to fill this form for you, and in this case, just send them all your account details, your name, ID number, and all those things, and also send them a photo of your signature, so that everyone can, that one person can fill for everyone this form, as opposed to the back and forth. Alternatively, one person can fill the form and send it to the rest of the people to fill. Or also, you have the option of printing this document and sending this document to each of you to fill. Of course, that works if the printing option works if all of you are in the same location. But if all of you don't live in the same location, in the same town, you can always do the uploading, nominating one person to fill and uploading the photo of your signatures. Yes, and then for the nominees, that is the people who will be nominated to withdraw funds from this account, to sign when withdrawing funds from this account, you have to provide each of these, know your customer documents, a copy of your national ID or passport, a copy of your passport size photo, a copy of your PIN certificate, KRA PIN certificate. But of course, if you have your tax exempted as a group or as a chama, you can provide a copy of your tax exemption certificate. And then you have to the proof of banking details, either your joint account or that account that you nominated. So proof of banking details can be a copy of your ATM card, front page of your ATM card, not the back page, certified copy of a bank statement, one page is enough, or an original cancelled check. And then you have to have a proof of investment, that is an M-PESA transaction number. That means you've paid the minimum amount, 2,500, at least the minimum amount of, you've invested at least the 2,500 minimum amount, or you've done a bank transfer. You have to provide proof of investment. And then this page also says that I hereby, so usually Sanlam requires that either a lawyer or a certified investment advisor sign this form after all your members have filled it in. And so one of the things that they do is when you apply or when they nominate you to be a financial advisor for them, they have to do background checks to make sure that you are a legit finance person who is able to certify this document on your behalf, or is able to sign this document on your behalf. And that's why you can see here I'm a certified Sanlam agent, and that's why you can see my name here, and you can see my code. It's important to fill a form that has a code, because it means this is a legit person that Sanlam knows about. And then I have signed on your behalf, and I've written the date. This bit signed by, as you can see, administrator. This is the part where you leave for Sanlam to sign for you. And that's it. That's all you need to do to open your joint Sanlam money market fund account. As always, don't forget to like, comment, leave any question you have about the joint application form, and to share this video with as many people as possible. And